And then if you can also send
Hello.
them a hey, how's it going? Sorry about that. We lost our stream, unfortunately. Can you send them
No worries. So what I was saying was these numbers, the numbers that we're dealing with, the numbers that you see today, the good news that things have stabilized. First of all, I want to set the context. We're living in times of warlike numbers. When the curve, the epi curve that we're talking about, I'm trying to get my orientation, starts to slope. As it's increasing, that's the equivalent of the number of deaths, and then those numbers double days. And as we've stabilized, those numbers have slowed down, and we're plateauing or riding on the flat side with about the number doubling every 5 days. That's not a normal state for one disease process. It's absolutely not normal. It's equivalent of wartime, where we become deconditioned, almost compassion, because we get used to hearing about death every day. It's not a normal, considering the fact that we still are in the same spot. We have no cure, we have no vaccine, and the only reason these numbers are the way they are is because, especially here in New Orleans and in Louisiana, we stayed away from each other. Social distancing, staying at home actually, and that's the only reason that these numbers, at one point, and Doc, you can tell me when, at one point, have gone down to, is this something to be happy about? 1 death per minute in the United States. It's not a normal state of being from one disease. I mean, something to celebrate, because it was and usually in podcasts, you make it a point that we account for a third of the deaths in the States. That's not, I mean, here in the United States, but a third of the deaths in the world. It's not normal, but it's good, but it's all behavior driven, because the virus hadn't changed. I'm going to get off my soapbox, and I'm putting my drumsticks up. So.
All right. It's a but let me do this. All right. So a quick slideshow. You can see in Louisiana. Did I do this right? Oh, I see. Got it. Yeah. All right. The case rates in Louisiana. Look at Louisiana. We're at 7,597 cases per million. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So we are 9th in the country. We were at number 1, and then number 2. You know, all the way. Really great job with that right now. When you look at the mortality, see our mortality rate. At per million people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So still pretty hefty mortality rate per capita in the B, you know, list, high on the list we don't want to be on, and low on the. You look at see. At one point, we were doing a great job. We were like number 2 for a very long time, but we're at 61,515 on a test rates in particular. So before I go to infection growth rate, I just Griggs for any thoughts that he may have about that.
These are just the same observations as before. I want us to be caught and be prepared to brace ourselves to manage our expectations for, as we've changed here with the reopening, for these numbers to all change. Doc?
I think that's a very good point, and something that I think take into consideration. Yesterday, our infection growth rate about 2 days ago was about 0.96. Yesterday was 0.84. I want to put this on the. Yesterday was 0.84, and then now we are at 0.84 again. And you can see and So, but it looks like the statisticians here are predicting that we are going to continue to be stable here for the time being. So again, we're at 0.84, so that means that the virus is not when you look at, again, so when you see the number of new cases here, stable, and there's been some blips with this. The state has had an increase in today's data because we did see, I think we did see that come down in Orleans. We have been doing a great job with Orleans perspective. More to communities, and then when you look at the ventilators, you have a significant amount of ventilators that are available. So if you do go out and enjoy yourself, regret it during this reopening, there's plenty of ventilators to use. You can see our lightening up. When we first started, they were full, and they are slowly becoming full, and then hospital beds tend to also still be somewhat available as well. And again, remember, for us to be reopening in the city and the state, whatever state you're looking at, remember, it's going to be a decline in capacities, testing, and healthcare capacity, which I think that we've seen that has been plenty of. You can see here our daily Brazilian cases, because I'm fascinated happening in Brazil. And look at Brazil. Yesterday just had their highest number of new cases. I think what's happening in Brazil is understanding for what's happening in parts of the world that don't have testing capabilities. Again, areas of Brazil, you see the cases there are just atrocious for new cases, and here just had another major milestone, had the most amount of deaths as well. And it's just horrific what's happening in Brazil. And I just want everybody to recognize that what's in Brazil is likely happening in other parts of South America as well. So these are our number of cases. These is our updates. But before we get to that, again, I wanted to give Doc Griggs some opportunity to say a couple words about what was happening, what some of those numbers mean to him.
That means that not social numbers that understands number ubiquitous and everyone understands is death. This is people that have died from COVID-19. In most, notably low. The number of people that you see on these, the one that have had access to some type of care and have died as a consequence specifically of COVID-19. Count for the people that have symptoms that resemble. It does not account for about it, and that each is now respectfully and compassionately attached to each of these. With is a circle of social relationships affected and hurt by each of these. So this is 19 has not changed. Our behavior has, and it can either hinder or help us. And try to move people to the help side.
Absolutely. We'll just actually guess for today. And it's we're having a line token who's 17 senior at Leicester Charter School, profit 18 and medical for so as to but I'm not sure where Kevin was. I just got a message. That's real place. Been some cool project that he's been doing around this. I'm super excited to hear from. Oh, look at it. There's Kevin Wilkins is the founder and there we go. Hello. Consulting firm. Why don't you tell us a bit about the you've been in the news?
I'm sorry, we have a so we
just let us know because we're it's hard when you want for
we can hear you.
Okay. Basically up around and